How is it going, everyone? There are so many big titles that are dropping here in the very near future, and some of them are gonna go a little bit under the radar. We recently covered Chronos: The New Dawn, which I noticed that game is building up some buzz, and also another game building up the buzz out next week as well is Hell Is Us. Hell Is Us is an incredibly compelling semi-open world title that is trying some pretty unique things in today's gaming landscape. It looks to have an incredible atmosphere, a darker tone to it, and I want to go over some of the key information that you should know about the game before you spend your $50 on the game on PC. It will be $60 on console. Now, I do want to mention that our friends over at Green Man Gaming have the game heavily discounted. Yes, the game is $60 on consoles, but it's $50 on PC, and Green Man Gaming's got it 25% off on PC for $37.49. Oh, and by the way, you won't pay tax either. You'll get a Steam key and you'll be good to go. They do also have the Deluxe Edition on sale. That is 25% off for $52.49 over on Green Man Gaming. $70 base price for the Deluxe Edition. It's $80 on console. So unfortunate, console players do have to pay a bit of a premium for Hell Is Us, but if you want it on PC, link in the description box below to Green Man Gaming. The Deluxe Edition will have your fake early access as well, which I'm not a big fan of, but it is what it is. We'll go over all the contents of the Deluxe Edition at the end of this video. But as I mentioned, Hell Is Us is an incredibly compelling, unique title that is set in a semi-open world, and the whole idea of the game is it's not going to hold your hand. It is going to leave you to your own devices, and the world and gameplay design of the title is leading you to really uncover the world for yourself at your own pace and doing what you want. The game notes if war is the closest we get to hell on Earth, it's because Earth harbors the worst of demons. Humankind in an isolated country ravaged by infighting, discover the secrets of your past and deal with the repercussions of a mysterious calamity as well. Hell Is Us is a third-person action-adventure game that combines intense melee combat with the thrill of exploration. Explore a semi-open world to find answers to your questions and face mysterious creatures all along your journey. And while the game won't have your typical compass or markers all over the map, which honestly is a nice change of pace, not every game needs to be designed in the same way from a world design standpoint, and Hell Is Us is trying something a little bit different and immersing you into this very dark atmosphere. But at the same time, the game will have some guidance in the form of dialogue and things of that nature. It's just going to be one of those games that you might want to pay attention to a little bit more to your surroundings. It is going to feature a hostile world, as well as the civil war dividing the country. The region is suffering from a mysterious calamity which has given rise to supernatural creatures that no modern weapon can defeat. Your drone and sword from a different age are your faithful allies as you cut a path through the lands infested with terrifying chimeras and try to unravel the mystery of their appearance. A unique exploration system, no map, no compass, no quest markers. It is you and the world. Following your instincts is part of the adventure. Enjoy a unique experience that uses innovative writing and level design to let you make your own decisions and follow your instincts as you explore. Your discoveries are yours alone, and this includes the side content. You might be exploring the world, you might be going on your path to the main story objective where you think you're on the way, but oh, look at this, there's something off to the beaten path, and you go over there and suddenly you're in a dungeon, or you're doing a separate piece of content. It's gonna really leave the world up to the player to discover, and it might be some people end up spending hours and hours exploring every piece of the semi-open world, and other people will probably find their way through the main quest and the main objectives. It's really going to be something for each individual player to discover. So I'm really compelled by the idea of everybody figuring out the game in a different way. Now, the game might have a seemingly more hardcore approach, you know, no compass, no mini-map, things of that nature. It does feel like it's going to be a more challenging game. Well, if you want your difficulty options, they do note Hell Is Us is a challenging game, but it's also one we want to be enjoyable for everyone. That's why we've designed 3 preset difficulty levels that you can choose from right at the start of your adventure that you can change at any point. Each setting adjusts key gameplay elements such as enemy health and damage output. If you want more control, we've got you covered. The game also includes custom sliders to fine-tune your experience. One of the most impactful is the enemy aggressive mode slider, which determines how often enemies attack and how intense combat feels as well. So if you're the kind of person that you're really looking forward to the world design, the atmosphere, the tension, the narrative of the game, but maybe the gameplay and the combat isn't something you're as eager to be super challenging, I totally understand that. I'm all about having difficulty options in games. You are going to be able to play the game with an easier difficulty. Now, if you want the most hardcore experience, you'll be able to make it as hard as possible alongside coupling that with the immersive world design. I think that could be an incredibly compelling experience, but it could really be tailored to how you want it. It can be this more atmospheric journey where the combat's a little bit easier, or it can be this brutal, super hardcore game where you have no quest markers, figure it out, and the combat's challenging. So I think either way you go, it's going to offer something engaging for everyone. Lastly, there was noted to be a death penalty option, which lets you choose whether enemies and XP gained since your last save should be reset upon death. What does that sound like? Whether you're here for the story and exploration or searching for a serious combat challenge, Hell is Us adapts to your style. Even on the lenient setting, danger lurks, and on Merciless, only the most prepared will survive. They also know mastering the game's mechanics can tip the odds in your favor. Perfect your timing to regain health and learn how to use your items, drone, and weapon abilities, but you are going to be able to tailor the experience to how you want it. And combat is a big element of the game. Swords, spears, and axes, a wide range of weapons forged specifically for fighting these supernatural creatures is available. You'll need to learn how to fight these monsters and use your drone wisely to stay alive. It was noted the central theme of Hell is Us is that human violence is a perpetual cycle fueled by human emotions and passions. That is coming from Jonathan Jacques Ballet, the creative director of the game. The game is set in this hostile world as well as the civil war dividing the country. The region is suffering from a mysterious calamity which has given rise to these supernatural creatures no modern weapon can defeat. And speaking a little bit on the map design and the world design and navigation, in Hell is Us, players plattering strips away the maps and waypoints, leaving you to trust nothing but your instincts, the clues you uncover, and chaos around you. Executive Creative Director noted this: in Hell is Us, you won't have a magical map or compass revealing all points of interest surrounding you, no markers identifying your next quest objectives, and no artificial or mechanical guides to orient you. Instead, we invite you to dive directly into the game's universe and rely on your own observation, reasoning, and intuition to progress. And that is something everybody should be aware about if you are picking up Hell is Us. They are saying this over and over again, that this is one of the fundamental key gameplay design choices. If you buy this game and you are upset that you are getting lost and there's no map telling you where to go, at that point it's on you making an uninformed purchase, because they've been transparent about the design of this game over and over again, and it's clear that this is a key fundamental decision that makes Hell is Us what it is, and it's key for the style of game that it is and realizing the vision that they have. The environments are not there simply to decorate, they are there to communicate. Correspondingly, paying attention to what NPCs tell you is crucial, as what they tell you is actual organic information about what to do and how to do it. I know we live in this era, and I'm not slighting it. The fact that you do have these markers, the fact that you do have the yellow paint telling you everywhere to go, but this is a game that it is going to be crucial that you do pay attention to your surroundings, to your dialogue, and if that's not something you want to do, move on. There's a lot of other games out there. Hell is Us is gonna be tailored for the people that do want more of an immersive, you gotta pay attention kind of experience. They also know we call this concept player plattering, as it's the opposite of silver plattering. It represents our deliberate choice not to serve you everything to the player on a silver platter with ready-made directions and answers. Instead, we want the player to regain full control of their adventure by exploring, discovering, and deciding for themselves. Although this choice is bold, it aims to create a deeply immersive gameplay experience. You'll need to explore every corner of our world, pay attention to even the smallest clues, and be creative in solving the investigations that lies ahead. We firmly believe that this approach enhances immersions, plunging you into an adventure where every discovery is the result of your own cognitive effort. We want to bring back the true old school joy of exploring and discovering. And yeah, while Hell is Us definitely from a technical standpoint looks like a modern game, it is technically incredibly impressive. When you think about it from a game design standpoint, it does harken back to games not holding your hand every step of the way, and that might be up a lot of people's alley. Hell is Us is going to give you the space to choose when you approach its challenges. At key moments, you're given multiple directions to explore, and it's up to you to decide which path draws your curiosity. Progression is flexible, and that flexibility gives every player a chance to shape their own experience. That freedom also extends beyond the main story. If you want to stay focused on your primary objective, you can, but you might also come across a secluded vault, a disturbing relic, or a mysterious request for help. Will you stop to investigate? Will you intervene? Or will you walk away unsure of what you just witnessed? There are no traditions traditional fetch quests here. No filler, no go here, get this just to pad your journey. Every side encounter, whether it's an act of kindness, a hidden space to uncover, or an eerie sign of something deeper, exists for a reason. You won't find quest logs or clear rewards. What you take from them depends entirely on you. In Hell is Us, nothing is meaningless, not even what you choose to ignore. And all of this is centered around the main character and Remy. Remy's return was never meant to be triumphant. His homeland is fractured, haunted place, one that truly never lets him go, and something lingers in the ruins awaiting him. He was only 5 years old when his mother smuggled him out of Hedea, a nation closed off from the rest of the world. No one was allowed in or out, but she made a choice, one that condemned her son to a life of questions. He understands why she did it. He knows she wanted him to live a better life beyond the suffocating isolation, but that knowledge does nothing to quiet the trauma of having been left behind. He does not seek justice. He does not seek redemption. He seeks them, the parents who abandoned him, the nation that erased him. He needs to confront them. Now, decades later, he has finally found his way back. A man who is defined by what's missing. Remy grew up in Canada's foster system, raised by strangers in a land that never truly felt like his own. All he carried from his past were the name of his birthplace, Jova, and the fact his father was the village blacksmith. That and a strange necklace he's always kept with him. When Remy joined the On peacekeeping forces, it wasn't out of duty, but as a means to an end. When the world plunged into a civil war, he saw an opportunity, a chance to cross the border under the guise of a humanitarian mission. As the operation was being shut down, he deserted his post to slip into the country before the window closed. The land he once belonged to should have been war-torn, divided by conflict, but what he finds is something far worse, something that defies all logic. The civil war he expected has been swallowed by a force he cannot explain. Each step he takes uncovers fragments of a past that he was once a part of, pieces of a story that he was not aware of, now staring back at him through this wreckage. And you can kind of tell that the mystery is a big aspect of the game, and the exploration, where it's not telling you where to go, you're gonna piece this mystery together throughout the course of the game. But understanding what happened here comes at a cost, and the deeper he digs, the more he realizes that the truth may be far more terrifying than he ever imagined. Yet he cannot turn back. He has spent his life chasing it. It's a world that demands more than survival. The world of Hell is Us is not just a backdrop, it's a test. There are no clear answers, no simple threats, only the brutal demand to adapt or perish. Remy's only tools are a set of mysterious weapons whose origins is as enigmatic as the forces he must face. He's also got his resourceful drone and a data pad. They'll prove useful, but the answers he's looking for, he'll have to find on his own. And he's been through the weight of isolation. Remy won't be handed the answers he seeks. If he wants to understand what happened here, he'll have to search for clues scattered across the land, buried in ruins, and hinted at in the worlds and actions of those he meets. Some may help, but no one will offer the truth for free. In these troubled times, everyone has their own burdens, and their willingness to assist may depend on what he can do for them. You must read the world itself, follow the remnants left behind by those who came before, listen for the unnatural silence and that signals dangers, and decide whether to push forward or turn back. Every discovery is earned, and every mistake is yours alone. The journey isn't about surviving what lies ahead, it's about confronting what's always been missing. The Civil War may have reshaped the world, but for him, the real wound was inflicted long before the conflict began. A story with a main character that's been through a lot of trauma, and he's looking to piece together the mysteries around him. And that's the main character. The main character will also have a plethora of weapons at his disposal. These weapons are not forged from ordinary metal. They seem to be weapons that can hurt the mysterious entities that have suddenly invaded, like the mystery of the Calamity. The weapons are clearly very ancient, and that is an integral mystery of the game as well. Where do these weapons come from? Who created them? And why are the creatures vulnerable to them in particular? And it's all set in this backdrop world. Hedea is not just a country, it is a mystery, a fractured land where the known and the unknown collide, haunted by the aftermath of the Civil War. For its inhabitants, it is both home and torment, a place that watches in silence as they struggle to survive its relentless trial. The world still pulses with culture and history, its people proud of their homeland. It has always been a harsh place to live, but now it stands at its lowest, transformed into a realm of desolation and anguish. The skies hang heavy, and the land itself seems to resent those who tread upon it. Yet even amidst the devastation, it holds a haunting allure. Its remnant of the past offer fleeting glimpses into a forgotten era, while its scarred landscapes invite exploration. It does not explain itself. Again, this is for you to figure out. Its ruins, forests, and towns hold remnants of lives erased by the Civil War, and while that Civil War isn't something that the main character is really concerned with as far as the mystery. It is integral to the world and why the world is the way that it is. Monuments crumble in silence, their stories left to imagination. Each step forces you to confront truths that you might rather leave buried, blurring the line between victim and participant. It compels you to grapple with its mysteries and reckon with your own. Each step shapes your relationship with the land, whether you seek its truths or simply fight to endure its hostility. The entities that roam its terrain are as enigmatic as the world itself. Facing them is not just a test of strength, but a journey into the very essence of this fractured world. Again, it is a darker tone, a darker narrative, so be mindful of that. I do want to end this video by giving you guys a heads up that the base game is $49.99 on PC, $59.99 on consoles, $37 and change on Green Man Gaming, and the deluxe edition is $70 on PC and $80 on console. As far as what the deluxe edition will include, obviously, you will get the 72 hours of early access. The game is out on September the 4th, but early access buyers will be getting the game on September the 1st. On top of that, you'll get the military pack with your pre-order. The deluxe edition will also include the Hollow Walker skin and the guard skin for Remy, and the Hollow Walker skin and the guard skin for the drone. A secret code in-game bonus. You'll get a digital art book and a digital soundtrack. Most people are going to be getting it for the early access, so it is what it is. I'm not in love with that, but these things are pretty typical in gaming these days, so I'm not all too surprised as far as that's concerned. Lastly, I do want to give you guys a heads up on the system requirements, because this is a game that if you want to max it out, it is going to push your PC to the limit. Now, there are 5 tiers of system requirements, so we'll go through all of them very quickly. We've got minimum, recommended, high, very high, and ultra. Minimum 1080p 30 FPS average, medium settings, a GTX 1070 or an RX 600 XT, i7 7700K or a Ryzen 3 3300X, 16 gigs of RAM. Recommended 1080p 60 FPS. This is what you'll see recommended on the Steam page as well. RTX 2080 Ti or a RX 6750 XT, i7 11700K, Ryzen 5 7600, 16 gigs of RAM. High 1440p 60 FPS at high settings, an RTX 3080 or an RX 6800 XT, i7 11700K, Ryzen 5 7600. A very high 1440p 60 frames per second at very high settings, RTX 3090 and an RX 6900 XT, i7 11700K and a Ryzen 5 7600. And then ultra 4K 30 FPS at ultra settings. Yes, that's 30 FPS, so keep that in mind. This is the top tier at its 30 FPS. RTX 4090 or a 7900 XTX, i7 11700K and a Ryzen 5 7600 and 16 gigs of RAM as well. So that's the breakdown of all of the requirements. Link in the description box below to get the PC version cheaper. It will be $60 on consoles. The game is officially out on September the 4th. Get it early with the deluxe edition on September the 1st, but it's going to be one that's going to be a really unique experience, and I see a lot of people getting more and more excited for it. Some of you guys were lucky enough to check out the demo. That is unfortunately not available anymore, so it is what it is, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Let me know your excitement level for Hell Is Us, and if you want the game cheaper, link to GMG in the description box below. Thank you for watching. Sound off down below, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.